Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ready, Set, Play, developing play-based programming and spaces for ages 1 to 3. Let's welcome our presenters, Taryn Norris and Kim Meredith from Daviess County Public Library. We're very excited about your topic, so take it away, Taryn and Kim.
Hello, everyone. So according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, play is a crucial aspect of early childhood development. At the Daviess County Public Library, we've created a fun and welcoming play environment to encourage parent-child learning interactions. So today we will discuss how we renovated our children's area to foster learning and early literacy for children ages 1 to 3, as well as our recurring parent-child workshop program, which encourages early literacy through play. And like she said, we will have time for questions at the end of the presentation. So in 2007, when we built our new library, they decided to make it an open concept building. So having a children's room that was open made it difficult and uninviting for parents, and the space wasn't adaptable in the way that we needed it to be. So you'll see in the slide, we had giant letters taking up most of the open floor space in the children's area. So in 2018, when we decided to renovate the children's area to enclose the space, we decided to renovate it to enclose the space and create a fun, family-friendly area that focused on play. So according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, play is essential to development because it contributes to the cognitive, physical, social, and emotional well-being of children and youth. Play also offers an ideal opportunity for parents to engage fully with their children. Play is also one of the early literacy practices to help children get ready to read, and it is so important to optimal child development that it's been recognized by the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights as the right of every child. Despite the numerous benefits derived from play for both children and parents, time for free play has been markedly reduced for some children. This trend has even affected kindergarten children who've had free play reduced in their schedules to make room for more academics. A 1989 survey taken by the National Association of Elementary School Principals found that 96% of surveyed school systems had at least one recess period, and another survey a decade later found that only 70% of even kindergarten classrooms had a recess period. So this is when we were in process of our renovation. To make room for the space we wanted, we completely reconfigured our second floor. So we moved the children's area to the space that formerly housed the adult fiction collection. And in these pictures, you'll notice we don't have any carpet. And there are regular doors on our programming space. So when we did our renovation, this is what our children's area looks like now. We've enclosed the space, and we have two different entrances to that space. We've added a play area, and we added carpeting and lower shelving close to the play area. And we added a garage door on our programming room to allow more attendance. So the programming room that we have allows 54 people to attend programming. And once we open that garage door, the numbers can just expand out into the children's area. So we have a lot more space. So some of the things that we added a couple of expensive features in our play area. One of the more expensive features we added was a ball wall from Science Kinetics. It includes a large assortment of magnetic tracks, chutes, tubes, spinners, and other amazing features. It's really cool. With the ball wall, potential and kinetic energy, friction, inertia, and gravity are concepts that come to life. So they enjoy playing it. They move all the different pieces around. They make little mazes with the balls, and it's a lot of fun. So another expensive feature that we added was a light bright wall from Everbright. And these are not the kind of light bright, it's not the kind of light bright wall where the light is removed and replaced. With this one, you just kind of turn the knob and change the colors. So mesmerizing animations evoke an interactive video wall, so we can push a button and the colors kind of change and do a different motif. And then if you turn one of the knobs, then it kind of stays. You can also clear the entire wall. And babies really like the light bright wall. One thing that we added that was less expensive was a puppet theater. And puppets help children understand and retell stories, both of which are important early literacy skills. So we added it's not a huge puppet theater. We added some Melissa and Doug puppets, and they're pretty durable and they're washable, so we can change those out whenever we want. We also have some dramatic play areas. Dramatic play experiences are some of the first ways children learn about their likes and dislikes, their interests and their abilities. They experiment with role playing and work to make sense out of what they've observed. So we have a little playhouse area where children can read or they can play. We have a dress up area, and originally our dress up area was just some hooks on the wall with a couple of Melissa and Doug costumes. But now we recently purchased a little wardrobe area with a mirror. And so they put on the dress up clothes and have lots of fun. We also recently acquired a garage with some cars that they can play with. It's one of the more popular toys. We have a large play kitchen. We have play food with sorting baskets, which help children learn problem solving skills. And we also have a dollhouse and dolls, puzzles and blocks, and all kinds of things like that. The puzzles help develop memory skills as well as the ability to plan, test ideas, and solve problems. Playing with blocks help children develop their vocabularies, improves math skills, and even teaches about gravity, balance, and geometry. And of course, dollhouses encourage pretend play. And then one of the children's favorite items that we have in the children's area are our sensory tiles. And the sensory tiles arouse kids' curiosity and promote sensory development and cognitive ability. So they're just little tiles that have like liquid inside, and when you step on them, it just kind of moves around. And I just got those from Amazon. And I think it was like, for the smaller ones, I think it was $80 for 6 of them. They're pretty durable. We've lost a few, but they last for quite a while. We also added yucky buckets throughout the children's area to allow parents to place chewed on and obviously dirty items for immediate cleaning. And also, not pictured, for older children, we have a Lego table and additional toys available in our programming room when we are not having programs. And we also have maker kits that can be checked out and used in our children's area, which have things like a marble maze, snap circuits, Uno cards, that kind of thing. And the other thing that we added was a writing center. And the writing center gives children easy access to writing materials and lets them enjoy a variety of activities while they learn skills that will help them become competent writers and meet language arts benchmarks. It's really easy and cheap to create. We have this nice little desk that we purchased, but before we got this, we just had a table with crayons and paper, and we use scrap paper most of the time, the back sides of scavenger hunt sheets that we do, and leftover storytime crafts and that kind of thing. So close to the play area that we have in our children's area, we have our board books. Our easy board books are on two different cubes. They are low so that babies can play with them and access them easily. We currently have over 900 board books. which is a lot. The other thing that we have is a parenting collection in our children's area. We have about 80 parenting books in that area, in addition to the ones that we have downstairs in our nonfiction area, so that parents can easily browse them while their children are playing. They include information on nutrition, child development, movement, language development, and early literacy. And we also have informational brochures available from the different, from some of our different community partners. Also, I don't have a picture of it, but we recently, this year, started lending out family engagement kits and kindergarten readiness kits to allow parents to continue helping their children learn through play at home. And they're very popular also. So now I'm going to turn things over to Taryn, and she's going to tell you about our parent-child workshop.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Okay. As she said, my name is Taryn Norris. I'm the Children's Librarian and Assistant Manager here at the Daviess County Public Library. So for the next portion of our presentation, we will be discussing how we created play-based programming at DCPL for ages 1 to 3. So 1 year after renovating the children's area, as Kim discussed, our staff attended a week-long Family Place Libraries training in Center Reach, New York to become the first Family Place Library in the state of Kentucky. We observed the parent-child workshop model of Middle Country Public Library and adapted their model to fit our context. So these pictures that you'll see here and this next portion of the presentation will focus on how we adapted that model. All right, so what is a parent-child workshop? So in this 5-week program series, parents and caregivers of toddlers ages 12 to 36 months are encouraged.
Hi, Taryn. I think we lost your audio.
Specialists will be available each week to discuss child development, speech and hearing, nutrition, and play and movement. So the goal of the program is to provide a structured environment for free play by providing educational toys and also to encourage parents and caregivers to interact with their child. During the workshop, parents and caregivers can ask questions of a resource specialist in one of the following categories each week. So we have literacy, child development, speech and hearing, nutrition, and play and movement. Then we end each session with a brief circle time featuring common songs and finger plays that we use in story time. So the room is set up in different stations: books, manipulatives, music, dramatic play, infant toys, blocks, puzzles, gross motor toys, transportation toys, and an exploratory activity station, which changes weekly. Each station is set up to encourage play and develop early literacy skills. We will take a look at each station in the next few slides. All right, so the first station is the block station. So you'll see some examples of parents and caregivers interacting with their children using the different toys here. So the block station helps children develop math and science skills. You can see that they get to practice using their hand muscles through learning, trying to figure out the best way to stack a block. It also helps them with problem-solving skills to see, what makes the best tower and maybe what doesn't. The block station also helps them learn cooperation and turn-taking, as well as patience. We have a poster at each station that explains the skills that each child can learn through playing at each station. So you'll see there are bristle cubes, jumbo cardboard blocks, and soft blocks at this station. Our next station is the gross motor station. And at this station, children can work on their gross motor physical skills. So that's kind of the bigger moving around, spatial awareness skills. including climbing and walking. So by playing on these soft toys featured at the station, kids can learn about spatial awareness, learn how to organize and plan their actions with the aid of the soft play forms, and they can develop balance and agility by testing out the toys provided. So you'll see the kids here, they're climbing, they're kind of experimenting with the different blocks and the different soft forms. They love the Watch Me Crawl rainbow tunnel right there in the middle. That is a huge hit with the parents and caregivers. And then you'll also see the See Inside activity balls, which they allow kids to experiment with textures and spatial awareness. Like if I move this around in a certain way, I can get these little blocks to move it a certain way too. All right, next is the infant toy station. And this one's for our youngest participants who may not be walking yet. So at this station, kids can play with toys that help develop their small muscles, so typically small hand muscles, and learn about cause and effect, and focus on facial expressions and learning from interacting with their parent or caregiver. So you'll see at this station we have the color pillar sorting mat, so kids can learn how to put which color toy with the color that matches. And then there's the feel and roll bumpy balls that allow them to explore different textures. Then there's the sight and sound tubes that allow them to hear different sounds. Sorting bucket, additional sensory toys, and the What's Inside soft feely box. All right, this next station is the manipulative station. So here, children can play with anything that they can manipulate with their hands. So that also works their hand muscles, also helps with hand-eye coordination, learning about colors, patterns, and sorting skills. So you'll see there's a child here that's playing with a wooden shape sorter. So it's kind of like a precursor to a puzzle. So he's fitting those on with the right shape. The motor links, the slot together animals, and the giant star builders, which there's not a great picture of those, but those are kind of like little fit together puzzle type things they can build on. And then we have the dressing panels that are situated on the bench, so kids can try to figure out how to tie their shoe for the first time, or use a zipper, or a snap.
Hi, Taryn. If you're speaking, we
Toys
aren't
at
able.
this station include the heavy-duty rhythm set, the
Taryn,
tambourines, and shakers. So you'll see one of our community partners is dancing with a kid and their family, and then we've got a parent interacting with a child there. So there's no wrong way to do any of these stations really, but with the music, some of the kids want to just shake the instrument, some of them want to get up and dance. So it really helps develop that creative expression, and helps them learn about sounds, as well as body awareness. So kind of how their physical body, how it interacts with the environment around them. Oh, am I? No, I saw Lauren commented. I'm not able to hear you. I did see a chat come through. Do I need to go back and repeat?
Yeah,
or
if you could.
I keep going?
Can you hear me now? Guessing not. Start beginning.
I'm going to keep going until I start at the beginning of the last slide. Okay, I will do that. Sorry about that. All right, so I'll start back here. My internet must have been wonky. So at the music station, children can express themselves through the earliest forms of playing with musical instruments. So the toys here at this station include the heavy-duty rhythm set, the toddler tambourines, and the shakers. And you'll see here with this station, children are able to develop creative expression, they learn about sounds, and develop body awareness. And you'll see that kids are doing that differently in these pictures. So in the first picture, you'll see one of our community resource specialists is dancing with a child. And then in another picture, there's a parent and a child just playing the instrument. So there are a lot of different ways that you can experiment with the music station. And it really helps the child kind of develop that relationship with instruments, kind of experimentation, figure out if I hit this button, what does this do? Okay. This station is the Pretend and Dramatic Play Station, and it is a very popular one. So here we want kids and their parents to use their imagination to act out real-world roles. So by playing pretend, children can communicate and learn about the world around them. They can express their emotions through play and gain new vocabulary and language skills by interacting with their parent. So you'll see some of those toys here, the big huggable baby dolls, so they can kind of play pretend there, the push button play phone, and then the toddler career costume set. So you'll see the different kids interacting with toys, kind of learning about how do I interact with other kids, how do I interact with other adults. Pretend play is one of the best ways for kids to learn that at this age. All right, the next station is the puzzle station. And here children can use a variety of puzzles to develop problem solving and sorting skills. They can learn how things fit together and also hand-eye coordination. So you'll see some of the puzzles they have the knobs on them. So those are for some of our younger kids. It's easier to grip if you have that big knob on it. And then most of these I think we got from Melissa and Doug. Okay, next station is our transportation station, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Children can play with sturdy trucks and cars to develop fine motor skills. So, you know, by maneuvering the car and turning the wheels, they kind of figure out how to use their fingers to make that happen. They also learn about cause and effect. So if I crash this car into another, what happens? What does that mean? And they, of course, develop imagination and creative expression. So we have different emergency vehicles, pullback mini racers, tough trucks, and then the carpet that we got, the little rug, is the Melissa and Doug Around the Town rug. Although you can find any of those on Amazon. I got one for my son that he absolutely loves. Okay, so the final station is the exploratory station, and this is by far the most popular station in our parent-child workshop. So this station, the activity changes weekly. It's centered on exploring various aspects of learning, including writing skills, hand and finger muscles, creativity, and cause and effect. And the activities change, so that's another reason why it's so popular. But we've done different things like sensory bags, you can see pictures of that one, water beads, magnetic letter matching, Play-Doh, make your own Play-Doh, finger painting, and sensory rice bins. So something interactive with the kids, something that promotes literacy. This is pretty open, but the kids just absolutely love any of the activities that we bring to the exploratory station. All right, so then we have a table for parent resources and books. And here we display resources for parents to take home from our resource specialists and other agencies in the community that assist with child development. We also pull nice looking and newer board books for families to check out at the end of the program. So the table that has all the resources on it, this is a chance for us to let our community resource specialists kind of show off and have their information out there, which I'm going to talk about them in a later slide. And then it also gives parents the opportunity to take home some pre-selected board books. I think sometimes we put picture books in there too, so they don't have to go searching through the library. but they can take a few, check them out on their way home. All right, so speaking of community resource specialists, this is one of the crucial components of our parent-child workshop, because the community resource specialist connects with families and also connects them to resources in the community that they may not have known about. So each week we have a different specialist that presents their organization and then connects with families and helps them get the right resources in their hands. So this slide displays some of the partners that we've had over the years. One example of just how important these services have been is that we had one parent that came with her child, recognized that her child, wasn't performing at the same level as other kids his age. And she found out through the community resource specialist in our session that her son had a speech delay. And so by meeting with that community resource specialist, who was a speech therapist, she received a referral and then contact information to connect with that organization so her child could start receiving speech therapy. So that's just one example of some of the successful stories that we've heard coming out of this, coming out of the parent-child workshop. But we've partnered with our local hospital, local fitness instructors. You'll see the speech therapy owners as well. We've partnered with our local community college with their early childhood program, First Steps. They've also been able to come bring us some of their resources. Our 4-H extension office, we've had them come and discuss nutrition, infant nutrition. And then also the picture that you'll see there is of our kinder music partner. So that's a music instructor, and she came and did just a demo for the kids and got many signed up from that class. All right, so for the next few slides, I'm going to talk about how we expanded our programming for the 3 and under crowd. So 1, 2, 3, Play With Me was a program that we did recently led by a local occupational and physical therapist. So basically she approached us and she wanted to do something on how to teach parents how to use the library's toys and resources to build on their early literacy and gross motor skills. So she came and you'll see she's interacting with the families. They're doing some like little exercises and then they're also playing along with it. So that was a program that we have done recently. And then another one is our toddler play group, which is basically the same thing as our parent-child workshop without the community resource specialist. So parents and caregivers can bring their children to the various stations, and it's just an hour of free play. All right, another few things that we did to expand programming for this age group was the Baby and Me book club. So this was basically a read-along story time in which each family who attended received their own copy of the book so that they could read along with our storytime presenter, and then they could take that book home to keep. So this was a great way to model to our families how to read to your children. And then another one that we started recently that has been wildly popular, we'll probably keep doing it as long as we have the money to do it, is the Baby Bundles program. So this is an ongoing program that we do once a month while supplies last. So children 3 and under receive a free easy board book, a copy of our early literacy calendar, an explanation of this month's theme, and then inside that booklet there are ideas for songs and activities that families can do together, and then a small craft or activity and different things like that. So you'll see that's what that picture is. It's the Baby Bundle deconstructed. So there's always something fun for them to do, always things that encourage families to read and sing together. And then all of our resources connect to that. They're all thematic that connect to that book. Okay. And then, so we also were able to expand our outreach. So our daycare sites, we only saw 3 to 5-year-olds in our outreach story times at preschools and daycares. Oh, I cut out again. Okay. Do I need to start? Yeah. Do I need to start over at the next slide? Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah, this one's fun.
Okay. I'll start here. Okay. So another way that we expanded our programming is through our outreach sites. So before 2021, we only saw 3 to 5-year-olds in our outreach story times at preschools and daycares. By the summer of 2021, we added 47 under 3-year-old classes each month. So that's just the number of classes. If you total up the number of kids, we were now seeing 379 new kids, 3 and under, each month at our outreach sites. So another way we expanded our programming is in 2022, the Friends of the Library funded 30 circulating kits that we rotate among our daycare sites for ages 3 and under. So these kits are basically ways for the child care workers to interact with the kids in a positive way that encourages early literacy. So each kit has a unique theme, and it contains board books, it contains educational toys, and a lesson plan that the workers can use in the classroom. So you'll see an outline of one of our one of our kits. So there's 5 books in that kit, and then there's an alphabet puzzle, an alphabet truck, and alphabet pops. So that particular theme it's an alphabet theme. But we have other ones that focus on like my first trip to the dentist or going to the zoo or something fun for that age group, basically. So these kits promote various aspects of child development, including creativity, problem solving, early literacy, and pretend play. All right, so as a result of the increase in play-based spaces and programming, we are seeing more families attend programs at the library and more families that just come and spend time together at the library. We are doing more 2 to 3 monthly programs and special programs for 3 and under since 2019. And our current baby toddler story time that meets twice a week is averaging 50 to 75 attendees each session, which is a lot. During the fall of 2022, when we had our parent-child workshop, we had 46 kids, 43 adults, and 14 unique families over the course of 5 weeks. Yeah. So in 2021, just as far as like thinking through how many people come through our children's area before we implemented all this, we had more than 3,500 people in our children's area each month on average. By March 2023, we had over 4,800 people visiting our children's area on a monthly basis. So more people are visiting our library, and as a result, we're buying more toys. We're trying to come up with new engaging ways to connect with them, more activities, and trying to engage with our local community. I think that is all that we have. I believe there are questions now, so
Taryn, can you hear me, Taryn?
Answer those.
Yes.
Okay, you guys can hear me. Good. All right, so going back to our first question from early in the presentation, where did you purchase the garage?
So the garage was purchased through Lakeshore Learning, and like all of our supplies we purchased through either Lakeshore Learning, Amazon, Constructive Playthings, or Discount School Supplies, but mainly Lakeshore Learning.
Gotcha. All right, next question. Were these funded out of your regular programming budget, or did you get grants?
So for the actual parent-child workshop, to get the toys that go along with that, we were given a grant by the Public Life Foundation. We actually received a grant for 6 staff members to go to New York for family place training, and then they also funded the toys for the parent-child workshop.
All right. Then a question from Tanya. How many staff members do you have with going to 47 outreach programs?
We have 2 outreach people. They're busy all the time.
Sounds
So
like
going back to the question about the grants and stuff, for like baby bundles, we got started doing that because we received a large donation of board books that we didn't know what to do with, pretty much. And so that kind of started it off. Now it's funded from, we have a separate preschool services budget, and those are purchased out of that now.
Excellent. Well, this is your opportunity to ask questions or make comments. Oh, I see. Yeah, with the echoing. Yeah, it's difficult if you guys are in the same room. Also, just Blackboard Collaborate is not a friendly platform sometimes. All right. Any other questions or comments? Been soaking all of this in. It looks really cool, and I would love to come play in your children's area if it wouldn't be creepy for a single adult to just hang out with a bunch of kids. I especially want to get my hands on that light bright wall. That looked like the most soothing thing to play with.
Yeah, our children's area is not a quiet place anymore.
Definitely not.
All right, comment from Tabitha. Very impressive numbers. You're all doing amazing work.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, and another question, the 5-week course, do you do all play areas or just one?
So
you have that echo again.
Sorry. We're in the same room, so we keep getting the echoing. So with the 5-week course, we have it located in our programming room. And then we do all of those different stations that I talked through in the presentation. So yeah, so we have all those stations, and then we have the different papers that explain, here are the early literacy aspects of each station.
Right. Another comment from Chelsea. We recently had an outdoor classroom built with a grant, and it has been amazing what a difference that has made. Do you guys have an outdoor area for your children's services?
We don't have an outdoor classroom, but we do have an area that was donated to us by the Kiwanis Club, and it's musical instruments. So we have a large, grassy area, and it does have an amphitheater that is not used very often, but the musical instruments are used a lot. They're just large, kind of non-movable musical instruments.
All right, last call on any questions or comments for Kim and Taryn. So we've got the time, so please don't be shy.
With the parent-child workshop, somebody asked about the 5 weeks course. Each week focuses on a different topic. So each week we have a different community partner come in. The first week is usually literacy and general parenting, and that is just library staff on hand to answer any like literacy questions that they might have or library questions. And then each other week is someone else. The speech and language development is always really popular, and we get a speech therapist. And they just kind of walk around talking to the parents, you know, playing with the kids, and just make themselves available to answer any questions that the parents might have during that time. So it's kind of neat.
And we were just having a little bit more of discussion about the outdoor classroom. Someone asked if it's covered, and Chelsea said it's partially covered. So Chelsea, if you've got any pictures you want to link to, not to hijack Daviess County's presentation by any means, I'm sure we would all love to see that. Yes, so by popular acclaim, if you can't share it now, maybe share that on the kayak listserv later. Sounds like a lot of folks want to consider new children's areas, whether inside or outside of their building. All right, well, we have reached the end of the kayak conference. It's been a wonderful conference. I do want to extend my thanks to Daviess County Public Library, Kim and Taryn. Your presentation was great, despite audio issues. You know, set that aside. Your content was amazing. All the work you're doing is really impressive. So thank you so much for sharing that information with us. And with that, I'll end the recording, but thank you very much for attending the kayak conference in 2023.